Thad Johnson with ABC, and I'll be doing your pitching lesson here today. First thing we wanna address is your balance position. All right. Now you do a little bit a little bit of a leg lift. All right, but when you lift your leg, you never really get your weight back, and so your leg is going to come up. You're going to just kind of just pick your leg straight up, and as you pick it up, what you're going to see is you're going to see your hip come forward. All right, and ideally, what I'd like to see is, well, I'll stop and I'll show you. So as we lift, our foot gets forward, our hip goes forward, and what you see is your hips, okay, stay flat, and they'll stay flat, and flat hips, okay, flat hips, level hips, whatever you want to call it, means that you have zero load on your backside. What we'd like to see is as a guy approaches home plate, that those hips get tilted. All right, and there's just none of that going on, which means your weight is you're just going to carry your weight to your front side, your backside, because of the depth at which you release your hands. You separate your hands so far below your waist, your top half is going to trail your lower half significantly, and you're going to really have to cut off your top half to catch up. So what I'd like to see is take your little lift. Take that lift that you do with your leg, all right, and take your knee. Think about what your knee's doing, and take that knee and get it back, okay, towards your back hip. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to lift up high and be slow to home plate. You know, plenty of guys can get a little bit of a load on the backside. They can still hold runners. You know, if you're working with a leg lift to home plate, anywhere from like a 1-2 to 1-3. As you lift the leg and the catcher catches the ball, your catcher should have enough time to throw out the runner. So just think about getting yourself just a little bit of a leg lift. Now, when you leg lift and then on a diagonal, now what that's going to do is you load up your backside. You're really going to feel those hips. You're going to kind of sit on your backside a little bit more, and you should experience a little bit more power with your lower half. You're going to be able to get through the baseball. So as we move to the directional side, this is what I'm talking about. Your top half is so far behind that now you're going to turn into this body thrower where you're going to lean your top half back on a diagonal. Okay, you've already started to rotate, and the reason I know this is that your glove is not out to the distance of your glove should be somewhere between where your knee is. Okay, where your knee is and your foot. So you're definitely a little short with that. You're never going to get your top half all the way into this pitch because you're just going to spin out of the way so you can get the hand forward. So and as you can see that this is why the brain's able to work. It knows what it wants to do. It wants to get the baseball to the front, and you're just basically doing everything you can to get the baseball to the front. And in doing so, you're really cutting off your delivery. So we're getting short with the front side. Our foot lands on the ground, and as you can see, at foot strike, we have an opened up delivery where our top half is headed off towards the building. Okay, our top half's heading out there. Our hips are open. They're in a pretty good position. Okay, you're doing the best job that you can to keep your weight on that backside. Your hips are opening up. That's good. Your stride to home plate is one thing we always look for. Our stride to home plate seem to be in a pretty good position. You may be slightly cutting your delivery off just a hair, but it appears to be in line. That would be something to check. At this loaded position, what I'd like to see is you have the glove and the foot be in line, and if you get that, what you're going to notice is if you get that foot and that glove in line, it's going to automatically close your top half up. It's going to force your tilt that you have created, okay, to deliver this pitch. It's going to force that as you get that glove longer out in front. What you're going to notice is that your entire body is going to get upright. Okay, it's going to almost self-correct itself just by putting yourself in this loaded position and taking your top half and getting it back up over your legs a little bit and not so lean back. It's a great drill to do. It's just what it is. It's called a loaded sway drill. You get yourself in the loaded position that you're in, and where you're at, you line yourself up into the proper body placement that I just talked about, and you're gonna lunge your weight back and then forward and release the baseball. All doing this all while you keep your feet on the ground. Okay, I don't want you to lift your leg, but your motion that I'm going back and forth here. This is essentially what the top half is going to feel like. And on top of that, what you want to add on top of that is you want to add a towel drill or some sort of drill where you get a partner standing way out here in front of you, holding the target. He can just even turn his hand over and he's holding the target out here. And what you're working on doing is getting out there and slapping through that target. Okay, what that's going to do, because that ball release, ideally what we'd like to see is we'd like to see the top half get out over that front leg a little bit more than it is. So we're talking another 1.5 feet at release, and you can see even after release right here, we're well short of being out over our front leg. You got to carry all the way through the delivery and finish off your entire delivery before we even get over our front foot. And with this extension, what you're going to find is that your lower half, okay, is going to get into the pitch. I was listening to your video, and the coach that was instructing you just on your last pitch tells you to, hey, get out over that front leg, as far as you can. And it automatically, you decided that you're going to do a little bit more extension. You're going to just try to really get out over the front leg more. And it almost corrected itself just a hair. Your backside was a little bit better on your third pitch. But it's just going to take time and practice. You're going to really have to, work on that loaded sway drill a lot to feel that weight transfer and to really take care of that tilt that you have in your top half. So Tyler, I want to thank you for coming to camp. I hope you learned a little bit here today, and we look forward to seeing you out there again sometime soon.